The sun is bright today. It's 20 degrees, but the sun is bright. Let me paint a very specific picture for you. You're fresh out of college, maybe a year or two out of college. You've been messing around working in the service industry while you're looking for the perfect job, and you finally land that job. And now you have to present yourself as the type of employee and professional that you want to bring to the world. When I was at this phase of my life, it was about 2016. I was a young millennial in a world where things were all over the place in fashion at that time. And I had such a difficult time transitioning my personal style into workwear, which is something I never thought I would really struggle with. I thought that would just come naturally to me, but it didn't. For the entirety of my mid to late 20s, getting ready for work was the most daunting part of my job. So I would end up wearing a uniform of a pair of black leggings with either long, nice sweater type tunic, jean jacket on top, or black denim skinny jeans with a nice top. My choice of shoe was my stomper boots because that was just my personal style, and I truly didn't have any other type of shoe I liked wearing. And while this choice of uniform was relatively reflective of my personal style at the time, it had elements of my personal style, like the shoes, even the black denim. I did not feel like myself every day. I felt like I wore the same thing every day because I did. And I felt like I didn't even look cute. It wasn't bringing what I wanted it to bring. But I wasn't ready to take the leap of dressing for the job I want. You know how they always say that? They always say,
Dress for the job you want, not for the job you have.
and I don't agree with that. I think people that get wrapped up in that end up looking silly. And I did not want to look silly. I did not want to look like someone that pulled a blazer out of my mom or dad's closet, put on their high heels, and played dress up to come to work. I wanted to feel like myself. Yes, look professional and adopt the professional mindset of dressing, but also still considering my own personal taste. Then, as I got older, once I had kids and I had even less time to get ready in the morning, and my outfits not only needed to be comfortable and versatile for my work environment, but they needed to be comfortable and versatile throughout a day of being a parent. And I struggled with this for a while. It was only in the last year or two that I feel like I've really cracked the code. And I want to share with you a handful of rules that I follow in the hopes that maybe it'll help you too. Whether you are a young professional new to the workplace, still figuring it out, or maybe you have it figured out, but you just are kind of in a rut. Or maybe you are a senior professional and you just want to feel a little bit more revived in your style. This is really for anyone, including men. I think all of these rules, I'm using that word loosely because you do whatever the you want in fashion, but I think all of these apply to both men and women. I'm going to try to insert as many photos and examples as I can, but you might just have to close your eyes and imagine what comes to you because this is so personal. Let's start with shoes. I think arguably the most impactful part of a work outfit when it comes to showing personal style. I think a lot of people think they need to pull out their nicest, dressiest, Sunday's best shoes for work. If wearing 6-inch pumps or kitten heels or nice loafers is your personal style, then great. Keep doing that. If that's authentic to you, that's going to show in your confidence in what you're wearing. It would make me feel like an imposter. And it just wouldn't be practical to the job I have. In general, when I'm putting together a work outfit, I like to focus on comfort, functionality, and silhouette. So I'm personally not going to pick a shoe that is uncomfortable, obviously, and it needs to be functional for what my job entails. And the silhouette has to be one that I'm naturally drawn to in a shoe that I wouldn't necessarily wear to work. When I first started working as a professional, I was really into stomper boots, platform boots, and Doc Martens. And while I still think those shoes can have a place in the workplace, especially during that time when those were the trendier shoes, I ultimately have replaced those style boots with a black cowboy boot. The cowboy boot felt like a seamless transition because number one, the actual feeling on my foot did not feel much different. And the silhouette, as far as how tall it made me and how comfortable my foot was while it was in the shoe, stayed the same. The difference was that the pointed toe made for a more polished look. It's still a little bit quirky. While cowboy boots are definitely in style and have had their moment in fashion lately, I don't feel like it is a typical workplace shoe, especially on a woman. And I like that because it sort of retains some of the quirky elements of my personal style. It retains the comfort level of my feet, and therefore it's a pretty reasonable choice. Now, in the summer months, I typically lean toward more of a kitten heel style because I like a pointed toe, I like a squared toe, I like something a little interesting, and I feel like kitten heels just have the opportunity to be a little bit more funky and fun in color and style, which is just a way that I personally like to express myself. I don't think personally I would be as comfortable wearing a ballet flat to work because it would make me sit lower to the ground, which for most people that is comfortable. And if that's you, wonderful. Ballet flats are pretty timeless, I think. And again, very versatile with how you could choose to style those. But for me, it doesn't feel right. If you are someone who wears sneakers, wear them. Especially in the corporate space, we've seen a lot of corporate fashion turning to the sneaker and trouser look. Just a pretty effortless style, both men and women doing at work. Now, my one rule to follow here is that you choose a sneaker specifically for work. So these are not your sneakers you're going to wear to the gym later or they went on a hike with this past weekend. This is probably obvious, but pick a sneaker or two that you specifically wear to the office. That way they retain their integrity. They're not getting as dirty. If the rest of your style is very casual, as in you don't prefer to wear slacks, then you may need to consider elevating some of the pieces in order to make your sneakers work. We're going to talk about bottoms next, but there is a way to elevate your jean style in order to balance out the sneaker or the more casual shoe. Now, if you're an Uggs or a clogs person, I have something controversial to say. Specifically, I'm talking about the short platform Uggs that are trendy right now and have been for the last year. If you are into wearing that shoe, wear it. I think that an Ugg, again, if kept clean and polished and looking nice, can look good with a professional outfit. I know they look like a slipper, but if you are a person who's wearing that type of shoe in your day to day life and you feel confident in it and it makes you feel comfortable and you don't feel like a slug in them, then wear them. I would avoid wearing them with leggings, but I really think the short platform Uggs with the right cut of trouser could look kind of nice. And then on the other token of clogs, I'm specifically thinking about Birkenstocks or Tasman Ugg slippers, that type of shoe. Very granola. I think this can work for the workplace. Again, you're gonna probably have to elevate other pieces of your closet. Next, we'll move on to bottoms. My number one rule here is to invest in cozy pieces. This does not mean a nice pair of leggings or dress pants made of sweatpant material that are meant to look like dress pants or trousers. I'm sorry, don't hate me, but yuck. What I'm talking about here is really getting the sizing and the cut right on your bottoms. For the longest time, I was wearing black denim, high waisted, skinny leg jeans, probably in a size maybe one or two sizes down because number one, I was a college kid that wasn't going shopping and keeping up with my fluctuating body. Number two, I really at the time just didn't really want to size up because I liked feeling snatched and I liked that. But then when it came to actually wearing them to work, I hated it because I was uncomfortable. It's different when you're wearing those pants out to go to the bar or whatever because you're standing up most of the time. But for the workplace, totally unrealistic. What I found was sizing up is how I need to operate. I also prefer a lower rise, which honestly, I was so into the high rise for so long. I was one of those people that thought I would never break that until, like most of us, I realized that's not the most comfortable fit, especially for a sitting down position, right? So I took really good care to know my measurements, know how they fluctuate, so I could have different ranges of sizes if I needed to. I pick a trouser like a size bigger or runs a little big. I also pick a relaxed fit, wide leg. If it's high waisted, then make sure you have room to move and you're not uncomfortable sitting. Because if you're physically uncomfortable, you are not going to exude confidence and you're going to feel like an imposter because you're going to be fidgeting with your clothes. And even if you are feeling relatively confident that day, you're going to look not confident just because of the way that you're acting with the things on your body. Number two is to pick a couple midi length skirts. In the wintertime, I have a couple wool skirts. They're pretty neutral in color. In the summertime, I have more of a cotton structured skirt or silk skirts. Midi length is my preference. I prefer an elastic waistband for the skirt, again, just for movement. And I like to wear boots with my skirts, whether it's fall, winter, summer, spring. In the wintertime, a wool skirt is way warmer than any pair of leggings you're going to put on or denim. And same in the summer. An easy breezy silk skirt is so much more interesting to style than a pair of black pants. And it's going to feel better in those weather conditions anyway. Another type of bottom I like to have is a really nice pair of dark wash denim. I really love a wide leg silhouette for a dark denim. I just think it has sort of a nostalgic and interesting silhouette to it. It's easy for me to style with the pieces that I have in my wardrobe. It's really comfortable. Pick the style that works best for you. I think a skinny jean is a really great option. Wearing it with riding boots or ballet flats, I think looks so timeless, very Parisian. A lot of people go to that silhouette already, but maybe are leaning toward a black suit pant when they're doing it. And I think a dark wash denim looks just as nice. You do not have to buy a blazer or sport jacket to look put together. I've tried the oversized blazer. I've tried just a tailored blazer. I've tried linen feeling. I just do not like a blazer on me. It makes me feel like I went into my dad's closet and put on his big oversized blazer and am going to father-daughter work day. Layering options are important because offices are cold, meeting rooms are freezing. Like conferences, you're hot because you're running back and forth and you need to be able to take off a layer, put it back on. I have found a specific blazer cut I do like. This sort of Y2K cinched at the waist, big button type of vibe, very open lapel. I have one in a jean that I love to do Canadian tuxedo with a dark pair of denim. So it's a relatively matching dark denim on denim, which I know might seem crazy for the workplace to do a Canadian tuxedo, but again, I love to wear denim on denim in my personal life. So bringing it into the office in a polished way with dark denim and these traditionally formal cuts makes me feel like myself. It doesn't have to be a blazer cut though, just interesting cut jackets. I have this other denim jacket, sort of a moto style, and I wear that with more dressier trousers. I have a khaki one that's very military-esque, and I love to do that one with like wool skirt and play into almost a 1940s aesthetic. Other layering options obviously include cardigans, shawls, and things like that. And I think while cardigans are having a pretty big moment in fashion right now, that might not be true to everyone's personal style. If you're not into dressing preppy, honestly, it doesn't excite me to put on a cardigan. Whereas I do love to wear a bolero. So wearing a bolero with a tank top in the summertime is one of my favorites because I'm not physically comfortable wearing a tank top all day in the office because it's cold and air conditioned in the office. I have a bolero on top. It's an interesting cut. It covers me up. It sort of gives off a ballerina vibe, which I really like. Another type of layering I love to do for work is pick a cool sports jacket. So maybe it's a sporty quarter zip or a sports jacket with like a high neck with a pair of trousers. I think looks really cool. If you're someone that wears sneakers to work, I think that could be a really cool option. Maybe you have to elevate your pants from wearing jeans to a trouser, but find one that you feel comfortable with and then still wear your sports jacket and you feel like yourself. Get creative. I still think you should pick a uniform or an outfit formula that you feel comfortable wearing every day. And this includes not only a silhouette style that you like, but also a color palette. It's sort of like a minimalist wardrobe. What do you call that? Minimalist wardrobe, right? Is there any other name for that? Whatever. Same idea behind that, right? You could basically blindly go in, grab a top, grab a pair of pants, and they work together and it's easy, pretty effortless. I like to do this by season. So I'll go through what I have for winter, maybe fall and winter, and then I define a style that excites me for that season and I follow that pattern. And if I'm still into that silhouette for the next season, then I find a way to incorporate that with the pieces I have for that season. But if not, then once the season's over, I'm sick of that uniform. I get to start over and be creative about a new silhouette. So, some silhouettes that I like to play around with, really any season, a dress over pants type of silhouette. So, either a longer tunic style top or a longer line vest or an actual dress and trousers, and usually like a boot cut style. Sometimes a wide leg fits in with that as well. Another one I love, I mentioned before, is to do a sportier top with a trouser on bottom. I had this varsity style tank. It doesn't fit me anymore, but it was this varsity style sportswear top, a retro feel to it. And I would wear that all the time with a pair of trousers. And I would either do a sneaker on the bottom or my cowboy boots. In the winter time, I have a zip up that has a hood on it, but it's made of cashmere and it's this really rich dark blue color. And to me, it gives off sporty energy, but it's still very nice and classy. If you are stuck in the black pants, nice shirt purgatory, maybe try just ever so slightly changing the color of the pants. Maybe do a dark brown, maybe do a dark gray if you want to just get slightly out of your comfort zone. Go for a subtle pattern like a pinstripe instead and edge your way out of your comfort zone while still staying comfortable. I'm sorry if the lighting is going crazy. The sun is absolutely gorgeous outside, but I feel like it's taking away from me. And goes along with this is picking a color palette, picking staple pieces that go well together. For me, this winter season, I've been really into dark charcoal gray and a cream. Those are just two colors I really like together. And then I like to have pops of color just in my basic elements. I have baby blue tank tops. I have a butter yellow tank top I like to wear under a lot of pieces. And it's in those basic elements that I bring those pops of color or those pieces of interest. The bigger elements of the outfit I keep relatively chill. I would avoid doing all black unless you're going to do interesting silhouette or it's like an intentional look. Because I do think all black can be really cool, like a black trouser with a black top and a black belt and a black boot and a black bag and black glasses. It's giving bad Sandy energy, and I always love a bad Sandy. I'm never going to say no to a bad Sandy. But even then, she wears red heels, right? So, whatever. My very last rule or tip, focusing on quality. And this is an obvious one, but this is hard to do, especially when you're a young professional or someone with an ever-changing body like a new mom or just someone who has a fluctuating body type. But this is where my thrifting indoctrination speech comes. It's going to hit at almost every video I do at this point. Quality is at the thrift store. Quality is not in the pieces manufactured today. And if they are outlandishly expensive. And I don't even know that they hold up that well, to be quite honest with you. Even when you talk about things that aren't natural fibers like polyester or acrylic blends, all of those types of materials were manufactured better in the 90s and prior. Everything that comes after that is garbage. It's a trap I fell into severely when I was first starting out in my career. For me specifically, it was ASOS and H&M. Fast fashion, warm whole. H&M has great professional basic pieces. ASOS also pumps out freaking constant items that are so appealing because they scratch that itch of, ooh, I want to look like that in the workplace. I want to look a little fashionable and I want to wear that pantsuit. That's the girl I want to be in the workplace. H&M does have some items that are quality. Occasionally they'll have wool or cashmere pieces, but again, it's at a cost. There's a lot of junk at the thrift store too. Obviously, that's part of the game, but if you can take the time to spend an afternoon going to one or two thrift stores, I guarantee you can come out with at least at a bare minimum a few pieces. You can start to build a professional wardrobe that does not make you feel like an imposter and will hold up in time. I bought a pair of vintage 50s sailor pants, authentic sailor pants that are so incredibly cute. They're so warm because they're 100% wool. They're in incredible condition because someone kept them in good care. They're a very trendy silhouette right now and very fashionable looking, and they cost me $15. Replicas of the same thing right now, hundreds of dollars for 100% wool pants that mimic the structure of these vintage sailor pants easily. Thrift your shoes. If you need to invest in a nice sneaker or even a loafer, I get it, but don't go to Target. A Target shoe creeps me out. I don't know what it is about it. Anytime I see that little universal stamp on a sole of a shoe, or even if I see a polyurethane boot from a distance, I can spot it. I can spot it from a mile away. And it just doesn't look right. A genuine pair of leather boots from a thrift store that are a little worn in, maybe they've got a couple scratches or creasing to them. It looks infinitely better than these plastic garbage shoes that everyone's wearing from Target because it looks like you wear those shoes. It looks like you've worn them every day and those are your shoes. They look like they're your shoes because they look worn in. If they're peeling and cracking, that's another story, but you get what I mean. And pay attention to material composition. Even if it's a polyester, if it has a paper tag in it and it was made in the USA, it's probably a better polyester than what you're going to find at H&M. Look out for silk. Silk is one of my favorite materials in tops to wear to work because it feels like I'm wearing nothing. It flows on the body nicely. It doesn't hug me too tightly and look weird when I sit down. It just has a professional air about it. Cotton obviously is great. If you're someone who sweats a lot, do not buy polyester pieces. It's gonna show. You're gonna pit out in them. It's gonna show. Just avoid that. Choose a cotton, a breathable material. Choose wool for the bottoms, especially for the winter. Try to focus on quality. And the best way to do that is at the thrift store. Buying secondhand, maybe paying a little bit more for quality pieces on eBay or Poshmark or Depop or whatnot. It's a really good way to find your personal style too, because you don't have a catalog of people that all look the same, wearing the same thing. You have to get creative and think about, ooh, I love that color. I'm really drawn to that. Or I love the way this looks on me. And maybe it's not a cut that's necessarily in style or trending, but that's even better because you actually look like yourself while you're wearing it. I'm going to get off my soapbox in just a minute, but I hope this has helped someone. It's something I'm really passionate about, especially for young women in the workplace these days. As someone who got into a field male dominated and is construction adjacent, and I had to get out of my head this feeling of I'm an imposter just because I'm a woman and I'm here. That was a huge step to get over. Yes, I'm a woman and I'm a feminine woman that likes to wear kitten heels. And no, I'm not going to wear hiking boots every day, even though that's what some of my male counterparts were wearing. And honestly, I do get comments from people on the way they dress. A lot of times they're compliments and pretty harmless, but I have gotten the office Barbie comment. It doesn't make me feel good, but I am at a place now where I'm 32 and I'm just sort of like, you are sitting there wearing that, and then you're trying to make me feel bad about what I'm wearing? Sir, no, 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 no. It does take just some growing up and confidence building. I will say, even though I wasn't the best dressed back then, and I could have used more confidence in bringing my personal style to the workplace, I still worked my way up pretty quickly. And I was still respected because I was wearing things even though they were boring and predictable and maybe not as professional as I could have been. I was wearing things that I was comfortable in, and I was wearing things that got me to where I am now. And I respect that. Anyway, if you are a young professional getting started in your career, let me know if you even feel like an imposter in the workplace. Maybe it's different for the Gen Z generation. I don't know. But I just know that everyone feels like an imposter at some point until you realize that everyone feels like an imposter at some point. You realize that no one actually knows what they're doing all of the time. And being an adult and being a professional is just making it up as you go and learning the skills that you can and getting through life one step at a time. I had this vision in my head that all of my superiors knew everything I knew plus 1,000 times more. But that's so not the case. In fact, the more executive, the less they know about day to day operations, about technology, about actual skills. And there are exceptions to that. But I know personally, as I've gained superiority in my position, I've had to let go of understanding all of the technical capabilities of my field because I've had to make way to be a manager and help other people manage time, to help other people learn. And I know for a fact all of my employees know more than I know about our industry. I just know a lot about our company because I've worked there for a while. So maybe if you're feeling secure in your fashion already, or fashion doesn't even relate to you in this way, I just want to put that message out there because it's important to know that's how the world works. And maybe you guys are all smarter than me and already knew that, but gosh, it took me a long time to get there. Sorry to get so philosophical about a fashion video, but that's what fashion and style is to me. It is very much related to my own psyche and my own self confidence. So sorry if that was a ramble. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Don't apologize. Do not say sorry. Cut sorry out of your vocabulary. You can say, thank you for your patience. Thank you for the correction. Never say you're sorry unless you hurt someone's feelings or physically hurt someone. I know I didn't make that up. Someone wrote a book about it in the 2010s, but it's worth re-mentioning. I'm going to go get back to work actually right now. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.